Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Let's get after it.
After being out for a family meal celebrating a birthday, this family noticed something in the window. When they pull into their dry, all of the family were together. The house should be empty, yet the figure of a child is seen looking out, then hiding from them when noticing the car pull up. While searching the house, no one could be found. No forced entry, so who or what was it they caught on camera?
Alright, that just looks like someone holding up a doll in front of the window. Couple that with the constantly moving, spanning camera angle from a seated position inside of a car, and this just screams staged to me.
People can find water with dowsing. That's another one too. We've talked about this. There's unlimited water, unlimited oil, unlimited gas, all underneath us by dowsing. We could find that. You can use a hazel stick, you can use copper, you can use brass, you can find unlimited water. And somebody just sent me a video yesterday of a friend who found water in Australia pouring out of the desert. Fish coming out of the desert. Reason being, because that's what's below. All this water and life is below us. But it's another myth in which we have been told that we're running out of water and you need to preserve your water and don't use too much water. It's a myth to keep the mind controlled in a scarcity mindset. It's a tactic. That's all it is. And primary water is all underneath our feet. There's so much water. It's not even funny. The book, New Water for a Thirsty World. And it relates to abundance. That's what the biohack mom just said. Abundance is our birthright. Exactly. Abundance is our birthright. We don't need to live in scarcity. We don't need to live in fear. We don't need to live in, I can't get better. I can't be healthier. I can't regenerate my eyes. That's a whole big one. I can't heal my skin. I can't heal my body.
I'm absolutely opposed to a scarcity mindset. I think the scarcity mindset comes from fear-mongering attempts to keep us under control. I know I've read reports that if we could just simply get access to the oil that we're aware of, mainly at the bottom of the ocean, then we wouldn't need to be looking into alternative fuel sources because we would have fuel in abundance. Yeah, this wouldn't surprise me at all if it were completely true.
The word man comes from the word mens, which is Latin for mind, because human is light, hue, which is color, is the light mind. We are light manifested into physical form. We are mind manifested in physical form. So essentially the mind is what controls all things and creates every reality. This is why we say government. So men or man means mind. They govern, control the ment, the mind. Because the mind manifests everything you see physically. For example, the phone you are holding, the book I've created, was an idea, which is the idea, in my mind before I manifested it physically. So the I equals the I, the all-seeing eye of Freemasonry or consciousness. Inside of you, this is the I am. This is inside, always the I. Intelligence, because inside of you is your invisible intelligence, because inside of you is the I, the all-seeing eye of the mind, or the third eye, whatever you want to call it. And this is what they're controlling. They're controlling the mind, because the mind creates reality. We are all expressions of the one consciousness, which is the all-seeing eye in the pyramid, because all of us possess the same consciousness. Even though we're in different bodies, we all come from the one mind consciousness.
So I've said it before that I feel like this guy's book is legit, but that you likely need someone who understands it to walk you through it and hold your hand in a sense. This just confirmed that for me, because this is absolutely what's going on in my opinion. I think humans have certain magical qualities that have been hidden from us to keep us in check. Qualities that we could probably regain access to through certain types of meditation and breath work.
Did you know that churches around the country are being offered up to $10,000 a month to install cell towers inside of their church steeples? In fact, they are being offered $2,000 for just one little 5G booster up inside of a church tower. With churches around America seeing less and less people coming in and spending less and less money in their donation bins, they're needing to come up with new ways to generate revenue. Putting something that many people are concerned could affect their inside of a church seems kind of strange, but if you run a quick Google search on this subject, you will find thousands of examples of this all over the country. And it's not just churches though, it's water towers, it's art projects, it's anywhere that they can hide these boosters. I love my cell phone, I'm using it right now, but this is a little bit concerning nonetheless.
I know they try to hide these things because they're just so unsightly. They're really hideous looking, and I've seen like the tree towers and stuff where they put like fake shrubbery and stuff around these towers to make them look more like a tree. But with the uptick in fear around the whole 5G signal, it's kind of suspicious that they're now trying to hide them completely from sight. I know if a large swath of the population has issues with a certain technology that's being rolled out or has fears about it, it just doesn't look good if you're actively trying to hide where you're installing this technology. I know the reports I've been hearing about what they've been discovering as the Euphrates dries up is concerning, to say the least. And in my eyes, it's the clearest representation of biblical prophecy coming true that I've ever seen. And that's coming from someone who isn't even religious. Even I can see the dots connecting on this one. All I know is they probably shouldn't open that thing up. I don't remember reading anything that's good that's supposed to come out of the Euphrates. Hey, if you're enjoying this video and you like this kind of content, I make a new one just like it every day, Monday through Friday. It'd be awesome if you'd hit that subscribe button and come back to join me next week.
This is happening now, and let me know, is it time to get out of New York? Take a look. The New York Appellate Division has ruled in favor of Governor Kathy Hochul in a landmark case for government overreach. Rule 213, isolated quarantine and procedures, will give the state of New York the ability to come into your home and take you away to quarantine you without any notice and for any virus or infection they deem necessary. You won't have any option to fight it. No court date, nothing. The rule has no age limit, and they can keep you for as long as they'd like. The rule also allows them to treat you as they see fit, including using methods that are still in testing. This is one of the biggest abuses of power that this country has ever seen. This is only the beginning. How long until this is nationwide or even global? As I mentioned, let me know your thoughts. This has come out in the past week, and take a look at the headlines coming out over the past week. Appeal planned after New York Supreme Court reinstates camp regulations.
To my American followers, I'm absolutely astonished by this. After years, actually decades of warning of this, I still hope deep down inside that it would never happen. But here you have it, it is happening. Although many people are awake, unfortunately, most are not. So what will it actually take to wake people up? Look, I love you all, remember that, and I'm still hoping the tide will turn, and people will stand up and tip the table. As for the rest of the world, you seriously need to pay attention to posts like this, warnings like this, because this isn't a joke. This is real, very real. And if something isn't done to avoid this, then it's already over. I love you all. Please wake up now.
As terrifying as this would be if it were true, I think the recent Chevron case by the Supreme Court just squashed this. Now no government agency or entity can just decide that something's law and then start enforcing it. I'm pretty sure this would cover this specific scenario, but I'm not 100% certain. I could be wrong.
What's element 115?
Element 115 is a super heavy element.
It's something that we only just recently synthesized. We only made 4 atoms of it. The craft uses larger quantities of it, 223 gram little triangles of it. But it's a unique element. When it's exposed to radiation, it produces its own gravitational field, its own anti-gravitational field, and it's what's used to lift and propel the craft and create distortions around it. It's an amazing material, and it's certainly nothing that occurs here or naturally.
And it can be weaponized, and that's kind of the issue here. If this story is all true, that can be weaponized.
Absolutely. I mean, we ran all kinds of tests on it, everything from atomic absorption and X-ray fluorescence, and every kind of test you could possibly imagine, and bombarded it with radiation to see what effects it would have. They called that neutron activation, but it was a stable element and something we had never seen before.
Just imagine for a moment that this element 115 was not found by our government, but gifted to our government. Then imagine that they used this supposed aluminum-looking element to cover our lunar lander to get us to the moon. Then, because it can be weaponized, imagine that the aliens took it back away from us for that reason. And that's why they can't get back to the moon, because they don't have element 115 anymore. So then imagine that the small amount that they did have left over, they're trying to backwards engineer so that they could figure out how to develop new technologies using element 115, and Bob Lazar stole it. This could explain research program and getting away with it. They can't kill a guy if he's the only one who knows where this element 115 is, and they need it back. Of course, this is just a theory.
A group of time travelers are messing with our timeline, interrupting viral memes and classic vines, stopping them from ever happening in the first place. If we don't stop them soon enough, they'll be invading today's videos and we'll never get. Big surprise, it's all AI, which is low-key even scarier because they're taking over the entire internet, and soon AI videos might be all we have. You probably missed it, but the internet actually died 8 years ago. At least according to a theory going around saying that almost everything you find online doesn't actually exist. Articles, channels, videos, posts, even me right now is all fake. The dead internet theory. And we see this already happening in real time on the most popular social media site in the world. You know, the blue one. It's getting bombarded by AI content created for the sole purpose of engagement and keeping viewers scrolling for more. The never-ending slot machine of addiction, flicking that thumb for your next dopamine jackpot. Pretty much every social media platform. Photos like these show up on the timeline, clearly AI generated, but somehow have thousands of likes and extremely generic comments from moms and aunts. But what if most of these people aren't even real? Because these pics get weird. As AI learns what gets the most likes and comments, it slowly starts to notice patterns of what sort of content to continue to generate. One of these patterns was kids in Africa building stuff, like this house with no door. Now, to tech-savvy individuals like you and me, these are clearly AI and quite laughable at that. But to some, I guess it's the most amazing thing they've ever seen. It's almost like the AI is trying so hard to appear human, generating images that combine the most emotional aspects of humanity into one. Poor, starving African child builds inspirational monument with all that he's got left around him. Which leads us to the next and probably the most successful style of AI photo art there is, Jesus. Yes, the AI learned that if it includes Jesus in its photos, they are almost certain to go viral, clearly figuring out that it can bait people into engaging with its content by playing with their emotions and beliefs. And they just keep getting more and more ridiculous, which makes you think, is an AI actually coming up with the prompts themselves too? Because I don't know anyone that would ever think that shrimp Jesus would be a viral hit. Look at the comments and they're all saying the same generic things. Are they AI generated as well? Even the actual profile, display picture, bio, likes, everything can easily be made with AI today. That would be AI coming up with prompts to generate AI images posted by a bot to a Facebook page with AI generated captions and tags that is liked and commented on by mostly bots. Robots making content for other robots. Welcome to the dead internet theory, my friends. The entire web is dominated by soulless bots and AI, but is this even a theory anymore? For argument's sake, I'll say yes, it is, but we really are seeing it unfold before our very eyes. And this is just with photos. What's gonna happen when AI video generators start becoming more accessible and just start getting better and better? Will we be able to generate viral hawk twa girl level memes with a single prompt? Full AI channels with AI generated scripts, voiceovers, people, and entire 30-minute AI videos themselves. And And this is already happening. Unlike Photoshop and advanced video effect editors of our past, these AI tools are extremely easy to use and anyone can make them. Give it a few more years and we'll be able to AI generate an entire $100 million blockbuster movie from a couple prompts, only for it to get watched, liked, and commented on by other bots. Studies already show that only about 50% of web traffic is actually human, and it's getting smaller every year, with some estimates putting that number closer to 36%. If you look close enough on any platform, you can see these generic comments posted by very generic looking accounts. Hell, we definitely even have some in this video. You down there, Ashley? The dead internet theory was thought up in 2021 and states that around 2016 the internet started having content that was normally made by real human creators generated by bots. And this was in 2016. You can only imagine how much more believable the content is and how much quicker it's happening right now with ChatGPT, Midjourney, and DALL-E that anyone can use. Maybe it'll get better, but as of now there's something empty, soulless, and just downright creepy about AI content that just doesn't have the spark of life that real videos used to. You see, the internet wasn't always the way it is today. Back in the early days, it was simply a collection of online pages that just existed, and anything you wanted to find, you had to intentionally seek out, or get it sent to you by a friend, or even just stumble upon it by complete random chance. Today, everything is determined by the algorithm that shows you what it knows you like, creating an echo chamber of your own beliefs and views. The internet is run by AI who has one job: keep you looking at your screen for as long as possible so you can keep watching ads and keep buying stuff you don't need, serving the ultra wealthy elite class so they can stay in power and we stay mindlessly strapped into our own matrix, while feeding them the most valuable resource of our world today: data. Now this is where it gets tinfoil hatty, my specialty, so take it with a grain of salt. A rock of salt. DARPA, a research and development agency of the US Department of Defense, actually started a program called LifeLog back in 2003, with the goal of logging people's entire lives, everything they like and buy, everyone they talk to, and so much more. Mass compiling this data and using it to, quote from their official goals, exploit these patterns to ease its task. Basically, find patterns in human behavior on an individual level and exploit them for its own benefit. The Pentagon spent millions of dollars on this project, only for it to get shut down by civil rights groups for privacy violations on February 4th, 2004. Whew, we sure dodged that bullet now, didn't we? Not quite. Cause you know what else was founded on that very same exact day? Yup. The Big Blue social media giant, founded on February 4th, 2004. Search it up if you don't believe me. A tool that is designed to farm data, that is now fed to bots so they can generate and interact with content that is data engineered to keep us addicted and distracted from the real world. Soon enough, entire channels, or even pages like this one, might be fully bot operated. Who knows, maybe I'm even AI generated right now. At our current rate, some projections reveal that by 2030, 99 to 99.99% of all online content and interactions will be run by bots, and the internet will officially be dead. Only people like you can save it by being the beacon of human hope in a sea of bots.
So if DARPA started this LifeLog program, which sounds suspiciously like the term Facebook, do you really think that they would turn around after dumping millions and millions of dollars into this program and just scrap it because some human rights activists got upset? Not gonna happen. The government does not give back control of anything once it obtains it. And I don't want to make a claim about something that I don't know to be 100% true, but it sure looks like Zuckerberg got the best government plant job ever created.
You guys want to hear an alien story?
Please.
This happened in 1961. This man, Joe Simonton, a chicken farmer in Eagle River, Wisconsin. He was sitting in his kitchen. All of a sudden, 2 silver bowls float down into his yard. Not a sound. And he immediately ran outside. He said this hatch opened. There was a little man inside of it, about 5 foot tall. And he was holding a container and he was gesturing for like water.
Yeah.
And then he walked up to the man. He grabbed the container, filled it up, and noticed that they were cooking something. He said it looked like they were cooking like pancakes.
What?
And so he gestured like, can I have one? They gave it to him, and the little man like almost like a thank you. And he said they closed the hatch and said it lifted up, went at a 45-degree angle, and then shot off and was gone over the horizon in 2 seconds.
What in the world?
This is the crazy thing. A university tested the pancake, and it was wheat that is only found in like Europe. And you think of like the UK with all the crop circles that are in like the wheat fields.
Yeah, that's where they started.
So he tried the little pancake, and he says it tasted like cardboard. If that's what they live on, no wonder they're so small.
I just thought this was probably the funniest alien sighting I've ever heard of. So a bunch of aliens come down, ask for a glass of water, give you an inedible pancake, and then just bounce. Yeah, if this guy didn't have the pancake to back up his claim, then he probably should have kept this one to himself.
Work on it a bit.
This terrifying video comes from the Outdoor Boys on YouTube. I'll tag it below. And while him and his son were hammock camping in the mountains of Alaska, they begin to hear what sounds like a large animal laughing outside their tent. And in the video, he chalks it up to being the wolves that are common in the area. But many have since speculated that this could not be a wolf and this could not be a bear. Thankfully, they were unharmed. But let me know, what do you think it is?
Ooh, bright. Got the fireplace turned around so I could work on it a bit. You hear that?
So I never heard this sound before, so I had to actually look it up to see if this is the sound that a wolf makes, and he's 100% correct. And this dude probably spends more time outside than I do inside, so I'm sure he knows what he's talking about. I can tell you for sure, if I was out camping and I heard this noise, having never heard it before, right on the other side of my tent wall, I'd be freaking out thinking some lunatic's about to dice me up.
What's going on, everybody? Today's a sad day. Today's a really bad day for humanity and the rest of the world. And I'm sorry to have to tell you this, and I'm probably going to be the only one to tell you this, but even though we were all celebrating the victory that the World Pandemic Health Treaty had failed at the 77th World Health Assembly, the reality is that that was just a bait and switch to make us feel okay. And behind the scenes, every country around the world has secretly adopted all new amendments to the international health regulations that apply to every single country. What this means is the same exact things that were in the World Health Organization Pandemic Treaty are now part of the international health regulations for each individual country. This means that your government can impose the exact same measures as the WHO Pandemic Treaty without having to go to the WHO. That means they gave each individual country their own power to implement these amendments. And I'm going to send you a list of the amendments that they've implemented, and it's just as bad as you think. If you want to leave your country, you're going to have to be mandatorily vaccinated. They even say they can force gene therapy on you and all types of other scary shit. It's just as bad as the WHO Pandemic Treaty, only now they don't have to go to the World Health Organization to implement it. Each country now has the power to do this to you. So this is just another big bait and switch and another stab in the back. And even more reason why now, if you're going to want to freely travel around the world, you're going to need to get passports and residencies in different places, or you're going to have to be stuck where you are, or have to get fake papers, etc. This is a new world, and it's not a good world. And when we thought we won, we really lost this battle, guys.
So this is another one that I'm hoping that the Supreme Court Chevron decision will protect us from. I haven't had the time to dig into this and see how correct this guy is, so take this all with a grain of salt. But if you're in a country that went way overboard with human rights violations during the pandemic, you might want to start doing some digging.
We're all seeing people posting videos of food that is not right. The texture's not right. The color's not right. The watermelon is rubbery. Well, this is July 4th, 2024. We have been keeping these 3 apples that we bought on February 19th. We're talking 6 months. They're not soft. They look like they were purchased about 2 weeks ago. And I assume this is the bullshit Gates appeal that's keeping this good, but this can't be good for our bodies. We kept these things to see when they were going to rot. They haven't rotted in 6 months.
So here's a video that was filmed and submitted over in the Discord server by one of our viewers. This fake fruit and vegetable phenomenon is starting to get out of control. I've been seeing videos coming out of every corner of the country with this. So the government just come out with a report saying it's okay to eat processed foods, and then right around that same time we start seeing food that's so processed it's basically inedible. I think it's time for everybody to start shopping at farmers markets and butcher shops.
Can live up to 70 years because they are mentally strong. After 40 years, every eagle has to make a difficult decision. Its claws are no longer sharp enough to hunt. Its beak becomes bent and blunt, and its feathers become thick. The eagle has two options. Either it dies, or it goes through a painful change. This painful change is that the eagle must go to the mountain and crush its beak on a rock until it falls out. When the old beak falls out, a new beak grows in. With the new beak, the eagle rips out its claws, and new ones grow in. Then the eagle plucks out its feathers, and new ones grow in. This painful journey lasts 150 days, but after doing this, the eagle gets a new life. Sometimes we need to get rid of our old self in order for a new and better version to emerge. If you're not following us, you will probably never hear my voice again. But if you are, congratulations. You're growing every day.
So I am not an Anthony Hopkins fan by any stretch of the imagination. Just listen to what he has to say about fatherhood, and you'll see very quickly why I feel the way about him that I feel. And he is a father. Also very eye-opening to listen to what his daughter has to say about him as a father. However, besides the fact that I didn't know this about eagles, I thought this was a great motivational speech, and I'm trying to get better at ending my videos with a more positive note. Because of some of the heavy-handed topics that we cover, I don't want my viewers to turn the video off and feel anxious or depressed. So that's the main reason that I threw this in here, and that's why I'm going to be attempting to end every video on a more positive note in the future. But guys and gals, that's the end of our video today. I hope you enjoyed these clips we watched together today. I'll be back on Tuesday with another video. I will not be here on Monday. I'm having eye surgery on Monday. So I will be back on Tuesday and posting Tuesday through Friday of next week. So don't forget to come back and join me. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I greatly appreciate it. And don't forget to go to www.barry-stepp.com and order yourself a shirt or a hat. It helps me support the channel. And don't forget to put your photos of you wearing your apparel over in the Discord server so I can post it here on the channel. But with all that out of the way, I hope everybody has a great, safe, fantastic rest of your weekend, and I will see you all on Tuesday.